the mental health stuff and the stuff that Jonna just listed off, it pisses me off the most that so many people charge so much money, because so often, especially in this space, it's exactly what you just said. It's you're paying somebody to tell you you're too stupid to do it yourself.
Welcome to Elevated Life, Real Wellness and Transformation Podcast, where we walk alongside the internally driven individual as they transform their life through wellness, movement, mindset, and personal responsibility. If that's you, you're in the right place. Let's jump in.
Wellness is something that's really exploding.
What?
Which I guess is good, but, you know, just like everything. Oh, wow.
Jeez, did you hear that?
Probably.
Yeah. Well, I just hit my coffee with the microphone, everyone, if you heard that.
Just like with so much other stuff that we talk about or stuff that we don't talk about, you know, it's kind of a double-edged sword with how things are exploding. It's a great thing for people to be talking about. Better to be talking about wellness than not at all. But what the hell does it even mean?
Well, and you know, our podcast is called Elevated Life, Real Wellness and Transformation. So I really think there's a difference between real wellness and prepackaged wellness or
wellness for sale.
Yeah, wellness for sale. Absolutely. That's a huge thing. And that's actually what we're going to talk about today. We have some stats, we have some information that we want to share with you guys so that you can just make better decisions based on the information that we give you for your own personal life, and really just encourage you that you don't have to spend copious amounts of money on wellness because it is, according to the stats, let me get my paper out here, my handy dandy envelope that I scratched all this down on. In 2024, wellness was a $6.8 trillion industry globally.
Trillion.
Yeah.
With a T.
With a T. In 2025, 7.3 trillion.
Jeez.
And it is projected for 2026, if the growth continues, it's going to reach between 7.8 and 7.9. So by 2029, if it keeps trending upward, a $10 trillion business. And, you know, although I'm happy that people are really starting to lean in this direction, what concerns me, along with our whole no gurus thought, is, you know, everything's for sale. And you are, I don't want to say bullied, but there's like some psychological warfare in there. Like, oh, I have to buy this. I have to do this. I can't do that, blah, blah, blah. So we're going to break down what the top 11 sectors are within, you know, the wellness umbrella, and just kind of talk about those in terms of like what we feel is a good investment, what we feel is absolutely bogus, because the whole idea of elevated life in every area is for you to take back your power, to listen to your own body. That's the most important thing in my mind, right? I mean, it is. So let's go ahead.
I was just going to say a little bit of backstory on why we're even doing this, because we heard that number. Was it just today?
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, in our minds, like, how in the hell is wellness, you know, the stuff that we talk about, $6 to $7 trillion a year industry?
Bigger than the pharmaceutical industry.
By multiples.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And
it's like 4 times. Okay.
Yeah, we'll get into that number later. But
okay. So then we started thinking, what does wellness even mean to, you know, the broadest term, or the broadest interpretation, I guess, of that term? Like, because, you know, I mean, if you listen to the podcast, you kind of have an idea of what our version of wellness is, and it's not $6 to $7 trillion a year.
No. And I just don't want people to get duped. Right? I mean, at the end of the day, like the wellness is option for everyone. It is. It's simple, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
Because most of it is, oh my goodness, going within, listening to yourself, mindset. Those are things that is not easy. I can say that for my own wellness, experience. It's not easy, but it is simple. So, do you want to start off, sir? Let's jump into these 11
different sectors that are generally under the wellness umbrella.
Yes.
And we'll kind of break down and talk about each one. So number one, healthy eating, nutrition, and weight loss, which on its face seems like, well, that's like half of wellness.
Right.
But it's one of 11 that they have broke down. But really we're talking about, I mean, it kind of speaks for itself, right?
Yeah.
Anything around, I should say though, with the numbers, stuff like GLP-1s and pharmaceutical weight loss, that doesn't count in the wellness number.
No, peptides do.
Okay.
But not like a GLP-1. Yeah, Ozempic, tirzepatide, whatever.
But it does encompass, I mean, do you want to?
No.
Were you just going to read them? I was just going to kind of summarize. I mean, really what we're talking about is anything that is helping you. So again, I want to preface this. This is really within the realm or two different realms, I guess. One, keeping in mind, we're talking still about the money.
Yeah.
Right. So these are the sectors where they break down how we get to that $6 to $7 trillion.
Yeah.
But we're also talking about then what you can do without spending a bunch of money or a bunch of extra money or anything like that. So any sort of coaching or app or any other programs or anything that you're buying gets lumped into this healthy eating, nutrition, and weight loss number, but also just in your mentality of eating whole foods.
Yeah. I mean, when I was reading this, and I'm going to go ahead and read it for the people just so they know. This is nutrition coaching, meal planning services, weight loss programs, organic foods, functional foods, protein supplements, health-focused restaurants, meal delivery companies, and diet apps. So when I look at this and I think, okay, how can I do these things and not spend the money? The first thing, of course, I'm going to say is eat whole single ingredient foods. Start with that and listen to your body, right? So then it's like, oh, when I eat chicken, I get digestive issues or I feel bloated or I get a rash. Okay, probably not something that your body currently wants to consume. I would say that across the board for apples, bananas, arugula, avocado, right? Any food that doesn't make you actually feel alive, I would take that out of your body, out of your system.
I just want to reiterate what you're saying because it's so easy to get caught up in the idea of, no, I've been told this is good. And it's a single ingredient whole food.
It's a nightshade.
So it should be good. It doesn't make me feel that good, but it's healthy. You know what I mean? And so it's easy to have that mentality of, no, I just need to press through.
Yeah.
I need to, this is for whatever reason. I just don't like it because, I'm used to eating McDonald's and now I'm trying to eat a tomato and it's messing with me. Like, no, it might be the tomato too. Just because a tomato is a whole food or anything, that doesn't mean it's good for everyone.
Right. And in that, I want to say, if you're transitioning from a McDonald's diet to a Whole Foods diet, nothing is going to taste good until your palate cleanses.
So true.
Right? Like you're just going to be like, no. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, okay, this is a huge part of the industry. Eat whole foods. The other thing I would say with like meal planning services or, all these types of things, it's important that you listen to your body. And when your body says, I am hungry, you consume nutrition. When your body says, I am satisfied, you stop.
Yeah.
Right? So just because you're told, oh, you have to eat breakfast, you have to eat 3 times a day, you have water. No, like listen to your body. So that's what I would say for the eating healthy.
And especially if you're like using a nutrition app or something, hopefully if you're doing, if you are investing in something like nutrition coaching, where it's an actual human that you're talking to, hopefully, and maybe it's a red flag if they're not, they're really telling you the same thing.
Yeah.
And helping you pay attention to your body.
Right.
How does this make you feel? When are you actually hungry? All those types of questions. But, if you're just using an app that says, here's what you should eat.
Yeah.
Then you have to be aware of it. Also, I would say one more thing and then we can move on because I know we have a bunch of these. And this kind of goes for so many of them on here and just in general. The old cliche of if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Right. There's so much stuff now that's packaged, and it's been this way for a while.
Yeah.
That's packaged as this is healthy.
Yeah.
And it's got 700 ingredients that you can't pronounce and all those things. So it takes a lot of self-awareness.
Right.
Still to be able to, even if you're using those things and you choose to spend money because you feel like you need assistance in understanding nutrition and, some guidance in that, you still have to be wary of it.
Sure. And I'm not saying like if you're just starting and you need some information and these things can be helpful, but I would also say like in the protein supplement world, we've gotten sucked into this, guys. Okay, so I'm not like, oh my goodness, I was sucked into this until it was to the point where it was like, I can't reach this protein target that someone made up because I'm going to explode. It's causing digestive issues. I'm not hungry. I am pushing against my body signaling you are satisfied just to hit this protein target or this calorie target or whatever that is because someone else said that this is what is good, right? And we've done whole podcasts on, eat your goal body weight and protein grams, which, okay, I get that. Okay, I get it. And I understand there's a lot of science and yes, that's good. But for me, if I am going to consume that much protein, I am going to feel sick and totally negate what my body is telling me. And at the end of the day, that's a non-negotiable. If it means that I don't have as much muscle mass as homegirl who's, eating her 140 grams and okay.
Yeah.
Like because I don't want the digestive issues or the feeling of.
So, and wellness isn't just about muscle mass.
No, it isn't. And the other thing with the protein industry in terms of like shakes, I know we're on this topic a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff is shit. And you don't hear about it until finally, I found a clean protein powder. And then, 8 months later, oh, nope, there's arsenic in it, even though it was sold to you as organic, lovely Garden of Eden, whatever. So anyway.
At least it was organic arsenic.
Yeah, right.
All right, number 2.
Let's move on.
Physical activity.
Yeah.
I mean, this one, obviously, we preach this a lot. And I don't know if you want to run down the list, but it's basically anything moving your body.
And this is, what triggers people when you think of wellness. A lot of people, it's gyms, personal training, group fitness, yoga, Pilates, sports participation, running clubs, home fitness, online coaching, and mobility training. I would this is like, what is the new phrase? This is a mountain I die on, or whatever that is. If you don't know what you're doing in the gym and you really want to know what you're doing and you don't have the time to do all the research and hiring a good personal trainer, and we have several podcasts talking about what that actually is so important. Mm-hmm. The other thing is, I know group fitness gets such a down. But I have seen so many beautiful relationships start from group fitness. What's more important is the atmosphere that the group fitness is, the culture of the gym, basically. Mm-hmm. And we've done podcasts on that as well. This is definitely something that I feel like is a meaningful investment that has a long time, reward, mm-hmm. right?
Yeah. This one, I was trying to process through, how to lay this one out as far as financial, because that's obviously part of what we're talking about here, and relating it back to healthy eating, because you can kind of wing the eating. If you hear all the time, stay on the edges of the grocery store,
yeah,
and you're probably going to be pretty good.
Yep.
And then you can figure out, oh, I like this better, or this makes me feel better, whatever. Physical activity, anybody can just go for a walk, mm-hmm. or those kinds of things. But I totally agree with your point of, if you're trying to do anything more and you don't know what you're doing, you don't risk, oh, I made a bad meal. You know what I mean?
Sure.
We tossed that out because we didn't like it, or it didn't make me feel good. Like, you can hurt yourself.
Yeah.
You can, and for a long stretch of time, like, right. You can seriously injure yourself if you don't know what you're doing and you're trying to advance a little bit.
Right.
So this one I would definitely advocate more. If you're looking to make more progress,
yeah.
I guess, in the physical activity department, especially resistance training, like we talk about all the time, it's so invaluable to hire a personal trainer.
Totally. But you can do a lot for free.
Absolutely.
So when we talk about investing, we're constantly posting on Elevated Fitness and Mobility free home workouts. Mm-hmm. We've talked about it endlessly at nauseum on the podcast, all of the things you can do at home. So you don't have to invest. Right. But again, if you want to progress in a deeper way, mm-hmm. hiring a good coach is important. And my philosophy with coaching, you guys have heard me say this a million times, I'm not, client retention is not something that I am super stoked about. Yes, for my advanced stage people, because I believe that that's important in terms of form and mobility and their goals. But my goal is to teach people, give them all the frickin' tools that they could have, mm-hmm. and then they graduate, mm-hmm. right? And then because that's where the personal empowerment comes from, and showing up for yourself. So that's physical activity.
Absolutely.
Hey friends, if you're getting something out of this, connect with us on our social media platforms. We're at CJ Elevated Life _ on Instagram and TikTok, and CJ Elevated Life on Facebook and X. We're answering DMs, sharing daily content, and building community with people ready for real transformation. For now, hit subscribe wherever you're listening, Apple, Spotify, YouTube. We drop 2 new episodes every week. And if this episode resonates, share it. That's how we reach more people who are ready for change. You can also find everything at cjelevatedlife.com. All right, let's keep going.
Okay. Number 3, mental wellness.
Yeah.
This one is broad.
Yeah, it is.
But you just go ahead and you can run down the list.
This encompasses emotional, cognitive well-being, all of those things, right? So meditation apps, breath work programs, stress management coaching, journaling programs, mindfulness training, mental performance coaching, resilience coaching. So many of these, I'm just going to speak to this now, are great. Okay. But here's the deal, guys. We all have a computer in our hands. Like everyone has a computer in their hands. You can literally Google, and we have endless podcasts on this, breath work, meditations, stress management. Everyone is different in terms of stress management, right? Some people can do some breath work and their stress goes down. Other people, that puts them into, just they're freaking out even more. This journaling programs, like this blew my mind.
Yeah.
Like seriously. And the idea is good. And the way these things are sold is very intentional. Like, oh, you're not smart enough to know how to do a journal entry. So here, let me sell you my 10-step program on how to write your intentions for the day, or, get the shit off of your mind that is, overwhelming it.
I'm going to say this.
Okay.
This one, and I've been going back and forth because my thought on this one that I'm going to say in a second kind of fits into some of the physical activity too, but I think I'm comfortable in saying this one because these are kind of the big ones. Mm-hmm. The other stuff we're going to get into here in just a second is some of them are kind of wacky, but eating healthy, exercise, taking care of your mental health. Those are like the big three of wellness. The mental health stuff and the stuff that Jonna just listed off, it pisses me off the most that so many people charge so much money, because so often, especially in this space, it's exactly what you just said. It's you're paying somebody to tell you you're too stupid to do it yourself. Yeah. So now I'm going to tell you how to do it. And if you do it wrong or it doesn't work, it's because you screwed it up.
Totally.
Which is just everything completely anti what the mental wellness should be doing.
Totally. I absolutely agree. I do want to say one thing. So one of the things on here is the meditation apps. I have a client, an old client that I just met with yesterday. Had a lovely time. And she has been using a meditation app and absolutely loved it, or loves it. We met 8 months ago. Mm-hmm. And I was telling her, you guys know this, how my meditation has just changed my life. And so she went ahead and got the app to stay accountable, right? I love that she's and she has a streak with it. She's done it for 200 and,
nice.
80 days. Yeah. I know, right? And it's been good for her. So some of these things, this is the concept of everyone is different, right? And I'm not dogging you if you want to pay for a journaling program. I'm not. But use it as a tool to start. And my advice, my unsolicited advice, which all of this is unsolicited, but you clicked on my podcast, so now you get my opinion. Trust yourself. Mm-hmm. A lot of this is just, hey, spend some time in nature and listen to what your soul is telling your meat suit, right? What do you need? And then do it. It's the concept of it's simple, but it's not easy. And I'm not dogging anyone who has done this, but I want you to understand that this is an industry. Mm-hmm. And we have an issue within the wellness industry right now where I'm the breathwork champion of the world. Mm-hmm. And now I'm going to sell you a 4-part series for $2,000 because you don't know what the fuck you're doing and I'm the guru.
Right.
When truth be told, if we just paused and listened to ourselves and were mindful of, oh, how do I breathe? Wow, I am a shallow breather. Or, man, you know what? Maybe I do need to write down 4 things that I'm grateful for, and I don't need to buy a class for $1,000 to learn about how to write the things down that I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it just...
And then get caught in the loop of, okay, I bought this one class, for $1,000 to learn how to journal, and I still kind of feel like shit. So I obviously fucked that up. Now I got to go buy a $2,000 class to learn how to journal because I couldn't figure out the $1,000 class. So now I have to go deeper by spending money.
Oh, and
versus
guilty
Yeah.
of
I mean, I think we all are at some level.
Doing that kind of stuff and in so many different areas. But now I'm on the other side of it. Learn from me. Like, learn from me. The things that they're telling you are basically what you can find on the internet for free. It's the implementation, the walking it out, the embodying it that is the hard part. So, all right. Moving on.
Number 4. This is, at least for me, where things start to get wacky. Number 4, wellness tourism. So basically what we're talking about, and John will run through the list that we have of things that fit into the economic, machine that is wellness, considering tourism, but basically going somewhere to feel better.
Yeah, this is like yoga retreats, wellness retreats, spa vacation, hiking retreats, surfing and fitness camps, detox retreats, meditation retreats, longevity resorts, and probably like plant medicine ritual type stuff. Now, my opinion, I don't think these things are horrible. I don't. I feel like if you are feeling led to go take a vacation away from your corporate life because it's hard to do at home, or you have distractions at home, or you go for a week to like a surf and fitness camp, right? Where a bunch of 50-year-old women are at a surf camp learning how to surf. And I think that that's phenomenal, right? Or you're going for whatever. Like, if that's what you want to do, cool. But don't get addicted to these retreats. Have it be a jumping off point, because I also know that people are bouncing from one retreat to the next, and then they come back into their real life and they can't embody it, right? It's like they're just chasing that. It's like being addicted to concerts. This was old me. Like, you're chasing that feeling because you can't embody it in your just everyday life.
Yeah. It makes me think of, okay, well, I guess I should throw in caveats or whatever. I agree. All these things, if that's what you're interested in, if it's what you're into, absolutely do it, and you can afford it and you've got the time. And I am not saying any of these are negatives. It's just, what are you looking for? Because what it made me think of is, and I don't even know if these types of shows are still on, but like the Bachelor, let's say, high level, high profile dating type shows, and so it's like, oh, okay, on this date, we're flying to Paris to go have dinner at the top of the Eiffel Tower. And now we're going scuba diving in the Caribbean. And now we're going to look at penguins in Antarctica. And, these are our dates to get to know each other and see if we're compatible. And then the show, recording stops, and then you get thrown into your, small town Iowa farm, and you're like, well, we're not going to Paris tonight? What's going on?
Yeah.
And inevitably, it never works out. That's the exact same way I feel about these things. And it's very similar to what you're saying. If the only way I can find wellness is going for 2 weeks to Costa Rica to my breathwork camp, and then when I get home, it's like, oh, I don't know, I'm not feeling good. I need to go to the breathwork camp in the Swiss Alps now. Yeah. Well, you're just going on vacation.
Yeah.
And vacation is a great way to feel wellness, but it's not overall wellness.
No, and it really is avoidance. I mean, let's talk about it. It's avoidance. It's just, I don't want to go deep within myself, and so I have to grab all these things outside of me. So you could have your own retreat in your own sanctuary and just get to know yourself. But again, I don't want to speak against these, but they're everywhere. Everyone's doing a frickin' wellness retreat. And it's great in a lot of ways. I do believe that it's great because you're connecting with people, but also you're connecting with people. And the feedback that I've heard with wellness retreats is, okay, it's great, but I don't know who my roommate is. And maybe you're stuck with someone who really didn't come there for wellness. They came there to be the victim or whatever. So just be mindful. And, this is really common sense, but I'm just trying to inspire you guys that at the end of the fucking day, you got to sit with yourself.
Yeah.
That's wellness.
Yeah.
And you got to have real conversations, and they really suck. And that's what it is. It's the mirror. So now we can move on.
Well, speaking of the mirror, that was a great segue because the wellness tourism is kind of like the big macro thing. Mm-hmm. Number 5 is very micro, personal care and beauty.
I know. This is just not wellness.
I was just going to say that. Some of the other stuff we can kind of justify into, well, it's kind of a fine line, whatever. This isn't.
No.
This is masking.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. So this is skincare, hair care, natural beauty products, cosmetics, anti-aging treatments, clean beauty brands, nail salons, and personal grooming, which I am not opposed to personal grooming at all. But really,
or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, if that's your thing. But why is this in the wellness space? Like
right.
Nail salons. And I don't care if you have nails, okay? But here's real wellness. Do some research on what your nails actually are, toes and fingers, in terms of antennas for your discernment and your spiritual gifts. And you will probably never put another nail or polish on your fingers and toes again. It's the same with your hair. This is an antenna, right? So covering it with all the things. So I feel like this irritates me the most, because if it was like, yes, we're teaching people about how to not put nails on their hands because these are antennas and all your energy comes through your nails and fingers and your hair. Well, that's not going to sell anything, right?
This is a great example where Jonna and I take very different roads to come to the same conclusion.
Because I'm about ready to go ahead.
No,
I'm about ready to say this is very patriarchal.
Oh.
Right? How did the patriarchy get into...
Hold on.
Yeah.
That's a whole different...
Let me tell you about the beauty standard.
We might have to edit
Natural
this part
beauty
out.
products, anti-aging, blah, blah. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
I'm sure women had nothing to do with beauty products.
They do.
Okay,
They're
let's
just an arm of
that's
the
not
patriarchy.
that's not where I was going
Okay,
at
sorry.
all.
I just
actually,
had to put that a little bit in there. If you're watching on YouTube, Clint
So
is
ridiculous.
so irritated right now. He's so sick of my patriarchy talk.
we're gonna have a whole nother podcast on that, and it's gonna be feisty.
Yeah,
I can't
We might
wait.
throw down.
We might. No, where my mind was going with this is really just the kind of like what we were talking about with the wellness tourism. This is such clearly, like I said, masking and avoidance and not really understanding what wellness is.
Right.
You know, thinking, oh, I got my hair cut, so I look good, so now I feel well.
Right.
And it's just not the same thing.
Yeah.
Not saying there's anything wrong with, hey, I got my hair cut and I look good and I feel good and I'm happy and I'm excited. Like, that's all spectacular.
Yeah.
Live in that.
Yeah.
You know, and embody that. That's great. But if you're doing that with the intention of it being something for your overall inner wellness, you're hiding something, you're avoiding something that you really need to address. And no amount of haircuts or fake nails or whatever those things are, beauty products, are going to help you deal with that deeper emotional thing that you really need to come in you know, grasp and whatever, come to terms with. That's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say. In order to really experience true wellness.
Right. I mean, if you need to, you know, be covered in make, and I'm not judging anyone, okay? Because we've all been there. I want to say that this is just part of the process, right? In order to feel good about yourself, if you have to have nails and you have to have the makeup and you have to have the 50-step skincare routine, and there's something else that needs to be dealt with. I'm not saying that any of these things are terrible, right? I'm just saying we're going to always try to inspire you guys to, hey, go within, right? Maybe let your hair be natural, and it may be uncomfortable for a little while, right? I know a lot of times when women are going from, dyeing their hair to gray, there's a transition there. It's shocking, and you have to go through the emotions of how you put so much value in dyeing your hair, and so there's steps to it. And so I don't want this to sound judgy. It irritates me that this is in wellness.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. And I would just say one more thing and then we can move on. But if you're, ultimately it comes down to your relationship with yourself and being able to be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
And, because again, I mean, like we say in so many podcasts, this isn't like an end result. It's not like, oh, now I'm well,
Yeah.
but if you really truly can be good with yourself and you inner, and you're the only one that knows that.
Yeah.
And you're really good with yourself. And then you're still saying, you know what? I just like to put a bunch of eye makeup on sometimes. Yeah. And I like to put shit in my hair and, whatever.
Yep.
If you can really do that, but you also know inside, this isn't changing me.
Totally.
This is just something I want to do. Sometimes I like to put Aloha shirts on.
Yep.
Sometimes I don't.
Yep.
But it has nothing to do with how I feel about myself.
Right.
I think that's the key. If you're doing this kind of stuff to feel better about yourself, then you've got some deeper things that you need to work on if you truly want to feel good.
Right.
I think that, I don't know if that made the point, but
hopefully,
yeah.
Hopefully. I just don't want it to come across as judgy.
Yeah.
Because, sometimes I like to get whooped up. And it's not because I'm looking for outside validation or any of those things. It's just because, guess what? Jonna feels like getting whooped up.
It's fun.
Yeah. It's a fun thing to do.
Yep. All right. Number 6.
Go for it.
Public health, prevention, and personalized medicine.
So this is a focus on preventing disease before it happens, which is funny that it's coming. This is in here, but this is why we're breaking this down so that you understand what wellness is. Preventative health screenings, functional medicine, health coaching, genetic testing, wearables, continuous glucose monitors, hormone optimization, personalized nutrition. So what do you have to say to this, sir?
Well, this is a fascinating one. For anybody that kind of follows this stuff on social media or, wherever you follow stuff, the realization that people are having, because this has been, I mean, I don't know when Fitbit came out. It's been around for a while, but this has been kind of a fast increasing market that all of a sudden it seems like people are just kind of in droves saying, what the fuck are we doing? Why are we so hyper vigilant, thinking about every step we take, every time our heart rate, goes up or down 1 beat per minute? Every single thing that we do needs to be tracked and needs to be analyzed and overanalyzed and, put into all these different models of, okay, if I do these 14 things in this order at this level, now I'm 1% less likely to get these 3 diseases that are super rare anyway. And so now I have to do all this stuff. And the realization, which is amazing to me, is that there's a lot of truth, I think, to the fact that this shit is bad for your wellness.
Right.
Because a phrase I like to use a lot is the juice ain't worth the squeeze.
Yeah.
Because you put so much undue stress and pressure on yourself to constantly live up to everything that, all your devices and all of these metrics and everything are saying, instead of just living.
Yeah. It's really fear-based to me. I mean, there's great things with functional medicine and, hormone optimization. Like, there's some good stuff in here. But, what happens is, my wearable said I didn't get good sleep, but I woke up really good and I felt like I got good sleep, but now I'm missing the mark. And so then there's this stress that happens, right? We put all of our stock and confidence in these outside sources where it's just moving ourselves away from ourselves.
Yeah.
Really. It's like, okay, did I wake up refreshed and feeling good? And, I'm asking myself these questions. Okay, yes, I did. Oh, well, my watch said no, so I guess not, right? I mean, we have to start listening to our bodies. And I'm not trying to demonize any of these things, right? Genetic testing, all of that. But in my mind, you can heal that stuff, but that's like the quantum world for me, right? Like no disease has any power and authority over me. I speak against all the parasites that try to take over me all the time because guess what? I'm in charge and I have so much power as a human, and we've been told that we don't for fucking generations, and it's a lie. And so now I just speak over myself like, no, this stuff isn't even going to affect me. And does that mean that I'm eating McDonald's and sitting on my ass all day? No, I'm not doing that. I'm doing all of the things that I feel are good for my body from everything we just mentioned so that I can shore up myself against these things. But most of that stuff starts in the mind, which again is simple, not easy. All of these, simple, not easy.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to say about this?
Well, I think maybe just the same caveats. It's I would echo the idea that we're not demonizing any of this, but man, you get in such a spiral. I'm thinking even preventative health screenings, something that could potentially be valuable for some people, but then okay, so you go to the doctor because, you want to make sure you don't have all these diseases. And then you just open yourself up to, what about this?
Oh, yeah.
Has this been an issue? Have you, do you sometimes get short of breath after you walk up 30 flights of stairs?
Right.
Like, oh, yeah, sometimes I do. Oh, well, you could have these 35 forms of cancer.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and screen for all of them.
Yeah.
Like when you didn't, it's opening, it's potentially in my mind, and do whatever you want to do. But in my mind, these things are opening the door. It's like when, for those of you who remember when the internet first came around and WebMD first came around, and there's still memes about it, it's like, oh, I think I might have a hangnail. Let me look that up on WebMD. Like, oh yeah, you have cancer and you're going to die.
Yeah.
Well, that was the diagnosis for everything.
Right? So you get all these tests and you're like, oh, I hear this all the time. This runs in my family. All right, well, let's talk about the emotional things that run in your family and the generational things that haven't been healed. And then they speak the illness. People become their illness. I have this disease, right? You are speaking that disease over you instead of doing the opposite of it. And so, this is a whole separate podcast, but life and death are in the power of the tongue. And if you have these little seeds planted inside your brain, it's just like if you have the seeds of gratitude planted inside your brain, or of optimal health, or of peace and tranquility, right? Then you water those. It's the same with all of this in my mind. All right.
Number 7, traditional and complementary medicine.
So this is healing practices outside conventional Western medicine. So acupuncture, herbal medicine, traditional Chinese medicine, energy healing, homeopathy, indigenous healing practices. In my opinion, if this is something that you want to dabble in, I think it's a great idea. But I also see people get addicted to, Reiki or acupuncture or any kind of energy healing. Like they can't do it on their own. They have to have a guru. Now, you know, it's, in my opinion, starting with that, just kind of expanding your consciousness with it, and then asking yourself, do I need this? Is this something I can do on my own? Has some benefit. But you know, along with anything else, people outsource their power. And acupuncture has helped a lot of people that I know. So I think that that's beneficial. What's your opinion on this, sir?
I, in general, treat this stuff the same way I treat Western medicine, and for very different reasons, but I guess kind of the same reason. There's such, because of the nature of things now, with this being the industry that it is that we're talking about, it's very open to the guru situation that we've talked about before, where, you know, you can have somebody say, don't trust Western doctors.
Yeah.
I know about everything. Look at me. I'm wearing robes and I have long hair and I speak softly and I, you know, use funny words. And so
I know
no,
all
trust
the-
me.
Yeah.
And
the
you
lingo.
get pulled into the same bullshit.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, just like with Western medicine, with traditional, non-Western, whatever you want to call
Herbal.
it, or, you know, there are so many great benefits if it makes sense for you and if the situation makes sense for you.
Yeah, and we've talked about herbal medicine before, and you know, with the what do I want to call it? The essential oil craze.
Yeah.
You know, and people are dumping oregano oil down their mouth, and I'm thinking, do you know how much oregano had to be nursed to get that one drop? Oh my gosh, you just ate like 18 plants.
Yeah.
Like, this is insane. So you have to be careful with that again, because everyone's fucking different, guys. We're all different. So herbs are going to respond differently. Stress management respond differently. Exercise respond differently. Food differently, because we're all different. And so at the end of the day, we're just going to say this over and over again. You have to go within. You have to take time and see what works for your meat suit and your soul.
Yeah. Just like some pharmaceutical isn't going to fix your, let's say, depression,
Yeah.
an herb isn't going to fix your depression.
No, I love that the most. I see it all the time. I'm anxious. What herb can make me not anxious?
Yeah.
Here you go. Deal with your childhood trauma first.
Yeah.
And maybe the herb's going to help a tiny bit to help your nervous system, aid your nervous system into retraining things. But guess what? St. John's warts is not going to heal your depression because you were molested as a child.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, it just isn't. Okay,
And
let's move on.
yeah, so when you put all your faith into this stuff healing because it's traditional, it's in my mind just as a misguided attempt to really go within and heal yourself as it is, you know, going to a doctor in a lab coat.
Totally. And you know, here's the thing. What happens when this herbalist or whoever is like, well, I gave you the St. John's warts and you're still depressed? Something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
So then you walk away, how, listener? Feeling more like shit
Yep.
than you did when you went to said guru herbalist. And I
Yeah.
know we're like getting on the herbalist, but anyway.
All right,
Now we're
let's
gonna
move on. Number 8, wellness real estate.
Yeah, this is super interesting. So this is referring to homes, communities, and buildings intentionally designed to improve your health and well-being. I would call this, what are they, blue zones, green zones? What are they? You know what I'm talking about.
Like where people live to be 100?
Yeah. What are those called? The green zones?
Blue.
Blue.
I believe blue.
Blue. Anyway, so walkable communities, homes with natural light optimization, air filtration systems, non-toxic building materials, green spaces, community gardens, fitness centers built into neighborhoods, wellness-focused apartment complexes. I find this fascinating. I personally think this is a good thing. I do. I feel like this is good. That's all I have to say.
All right. I feel like it's a con.
Oh, okay.
Like some people are trying to con people.
Well, sure. That you have that in everything. Yeah. But I feel like it could be a good thing, I guess.
If within the concept of the economics of wellness, it seems like this is a great opportunity to charge people way more for shit that already happens.
Yeah. You know what? You're right. You're absolutely right.
The
I
stuff,
still think it's a good idea.
the things that you listed off
Yeah.
are spectacular.
Yeah.
I mean, in the right situations, you know, I mean, walkable communities are great, but what are you doing with it? If, you know, I mean, there's a lot of controversy around 15-minute cities, right?
Yeah.
Have you heard all that stuff in the interest of wellness?
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you're being forced into wellness,
Right.
which isn't gonna work.
Right. 'Cause you have to want to actually do it.
So I think this living in itself, these concepts that you just listed off in the wellness real estate are spectacular. They're also used as like I said, as a propaganda tool or a control tool to say, oh no, I'm going to dictate how much green space you have to promote your wellness.
Sure.
I would say this stuff is more, if it's organically developed, like the community gardens is a
Yeah.
great one. If a bunch of people just get together and want to have a garden,
Yeah.
that's spectacular.
Totally. Yep.
But you know, when you this one just, it's maybe the fundamentalist libertarian in me that says this one makes me nervous.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden, you know, they start
a cult.
saying, hey, you're
I never even thought of it from this perspective. I'm like, oh, all of this sounds great. Because I'm thinking of it like you could have a community garden where you're at right now. You don't got to move to a community or you know what I mean?
And then all of a sudden your community says, well, you have an acre. I only have half an acre. We need to use some of your land for our community garden for wellness.
Right. Yeah.
And then, so you just got to be, just like everything else, you got to be kind of careful.
Yeah.
But
I didn't even think of that. So the next.
Hey, quick pause. If this episode is hitting you and you're ready for real tools, here's what we built.
Head on over to cjelevantedlife.com, pick up the Rebuilt Method for Men
Whoa.
or the Rebuilt Method for Women, just $67 each. We also created the Parasite Detox Blueprint at $37. And this is actually the exact protocol we use ourselves.
And while you're there, sign up for the newsletter. You'll get the weekly action steps and new tools we've tested ourselves. Let's get back to the episode.
One. We'll move on.
Number
from that.
9.
The spa community.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. So day spas, massage therapy, hydrotherapy, sauna experiences, recovery centers, facial treatments, body treatments. I feel like that's always been kind of in the wellness space. There's some really good things about that. Obviously, it's the same as anything else. It's your body, your choice. You know, if you want to go to it, I've been to several spas. It's lovely. It's such a great way to just decompress. So I'm going to say that this is, you know,
Yeah.
a good thing.
I think it's, again, when you're parsing out the difference between wellness and feeling good, you know, this falls more into the feeling good, but it can lead to wellness benefits. You know, like we talk about, like sauning, you know, or home sauna, that kind of stuff.
Red light therapy.
Red light
right?
therapy, you know, those things. Again, if you are going to the spa to find wellness,
Right.
you're not going to find it there. You're not going to find lasting
Yes.
wellness there.
Yeah.
But if you're using it as one of your tools okay, this is a relaxation technique.
Yeah.
Now I can move throughout my day and deal with other things, whatever that might be, then it's certainly beneficial.
Yeah.
So I agree. I mean, I'm not going to shit on any of these, but
No.
just if you're really trying to dig in and find real wellness within yourself, you got to ask yourself the questions, why am I doing this?
Yeah. And many spas now are in longevity services as well. So I just want to talk briefly about peptides. I don't know peptides. I know there's a ton of really good research out there for different kinds of peptides for you. If it works for you and your body responds well to it, it's your body, your choice, right? When people start shitting on other people for their peptide stack, if that's what they want to do, again, I would chickadee check yourself in terms of like, how come my body isn't functioning to produce whatever. And sometimes we need a little help for, cell regeneration or whatever that is. But, that in my mind is your body, your choice. This is the same thing with GLP-1s. Mm-hmm. It is your body. I'm not going to shit on anyone for doing basically any of this stuff. I just want people to understand if they've been had or if not.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So that's my thoughts on that.
All right.
Okay.
Number 10, ahead. Thermal and mineral springs.
So examples are hot springs, mineral baths, thermal pools, healing water resorts. The only thing that really irritates me about this is how these sacred spaces have been bought up by corporations and they build big hotels around them. And then you have to spend $1 million to go sit in a natural spring that Source provided on this planet for us. It's the same reason that irritates me that when I go to the lake, I have to pay to paddleboard there. Mm-hmm. And if I don't wear a life jacket, then I get fined in a lake that doesn't even have a breeze on it, right? It's just like that irritates me. But
yeah. The thermal and mineral springs themselves, it's a healing tool.
I think it's great, right? And it should be free for all people because it was on this planet for us to use as a natural healing thing. And there are tons of springs and things like that you don't get charged for. But the whole...
We have philosophical differences on this as well, but we don't have time to talk about them right now.
Oh, because this podcast is getting long.
Yeah.
Wow. Well.
So I would say this one kind of falls in the same line as the spas. Be wary, to your point of, if you got to go spend $1,000 to sit in a mineral spring or, thermal pool, minerals pool, whatever, because, it's got this big hotel around it and, you get fed all the other stuff with it, fine, go do it. But there might not be that much difference between that and
going to the ocean.
Yeah.
And taking a good mineral salt.
Yeah.
Right?
That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely. But it just bugs me that they've taken these beautiful places and built them up. All right. Moving on.
Number 11. Finally, to number 11.
I know everyone's like, get through this.
No shit.
Okay, go ahead.
Workplace wellness.
I think this is great. Corporate fitness programs, stress management, workshops, employee wellness challenges, health coaching, standing desks, mental health resources, corporate nutrition programs. I honestly think this is fantastic, and I think that all corporations should do this because if you have to work in corporate and sell your soul to corporate, then guess what? It'd be really cool if they could provide a gym or a stress management workshop to give you tools. Now, at the end of the day, you have to implement the tools, but I think it's great.
I totally agree with what you were just getting to right there at the very last of what you were saying. Mandatory wellness is never going to work.
No. So
if your company is saying, we have Wellness Wednesday where everybody has to go walk for 20 minutes. That's not going to work. It's just not going to work.
No.
workplace is giving the opportunity.
Yeah.
We have a gym, we have a place for yoga or meditation. We have, to whatever level they can. And now you go use the tools that work for you. Take a minute and do that.
Yep.
I mean, I think that's spectacular. But like we say, that boils down to you doing the things for you that work for you.
Right. And I know this is not shocking at all, but healthier employees are generally happier, more productive, and miss fewer days of work. So anyone who owns a business or corporation and you're listening, I want to inspire you to start implementing this for your workforce, because shit's changing in the world and everyone's tapped out and the planets are going bonkers and it's causing people to go bonkers, and we're in this great awakening. This is a really good way for you to get ahead of the curve of people flipping the fuck out.
Yeah.
That's just the Jonna version of get ahead of this.
Yep.
Yeah. So I just want to take a moment and talk about the wellness economy versus the pharmaceutical economy, because this might blow your mind. The wellness economy is 4 times larger than the pharmaceutical industry. So let's see here. The pharmaceutical market is projected to be $2.5 trillion by the early 2030s. And we already said the number that wellness is going to be a $10 trillion business. So it's way bigger than the pharmaceuticals. The cool thing about this, guys, is that people are trending to wanting to become well. There's equilibrium, I feel, that's happening right now, which is why we're coming out really against the guru, the you don't know what you're doing, so you have to follow me type people, right? I love that people are jumping into wellness, but I want you to be just leery of I'm the only one that knows about this specific topic. You don't know anything, you can't learn, right? That's basically what it is. I just want you to trust yourself.
Yeah, and along those lines, those people also saying if something doesn't work for you, then you did it wrong.
Yeah.
And you're more broken.
Yeah.
You're, it's not me, it's you.
Yeah.
That's, that's a big red flag. So yeah, I would just completely echo that. There's all the things that we listed are in and of themselves, with maybe some exceptions, generally speaking, are potentially good things.
For sure.
It's not like we were listing anything super negative or anything. It's just really the understanding of why you're doing them and what you're really trying to get out of them.
Right.
If it's just I need a couple days to relax, then go on one of those retreats or, whatever, or go to the spa or go get your nails done. If it's like, man, I like it and it's fun and I want to do something fun. But like you said, with the St. John's wort, none of that shit is healing the fact that you got molested as a child.
Totally.
Or that, whatever that might be.
Yeah.
And that in our minds, I think I can speak for you when I say that, getting to that level of healing, that's what we mean by wellness.
Totally. That is our definition of wellness, is the root cause. And then also like encouraging you that it's all within yourself and you don't have to spend copious amounts of money. I know that's way easier than actually going deep within yourself.
Yeah.
I can say that for sure, actually. But that's what we want to inspire you to do, that you actually have the power to do all of these things without spending a shit ton of money on your wellness. You can do them. You have the power. Trust yourself. I hope that this podcast was helpful, and thank you for persevering to the end.
Absolutely. And we'll talk to you soon.